have an upcoming presidential debate. We have people wondering, is Joe Biden going to actually be the person Trump goes up against in November, and so much more. To help me go over all of that, I have Kimberly Guilfoyle with me. Kimberly, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yes, what a pleasure to be on your program. Thank you so much.
So your show is just doing phenomenally well. I'm glad that we were able to connect today. The first thing that I wanted to jump in with you on is the news would have you believe that President Biden is at Camp David. He's got a team of people in front of him helping him memorize statistics and details and one-liners and ways to get Trump on national TV. But then they say, Donald Trump, he's not even preparing. He just keeps doing rallies and meeting with people. Do you think it's interesting that they look at rallies and meeting with people as bad?
Yes.
And how is President Trump actually preparing for this?
Yeah, they consider actually showing up and paying attention to the American people as a bad thing. President Trump leaves no Americans behind, whether he's in a bodega in the Bronx or he's in New Jersey or he's in Black Church in Michigan. The people show up to see him, to talk to him, to meet him, because he has the pulse of the American people. And I think it's so disrespectful that these people are so manufactured and so ridiculous that they frown and look down on their nose on what President Trump does, which is actually what a leader should be doing, is connecting with the people. A leader should be calling and giving condolences to angel moms who have lost family members due to Biden's disastrous border policy. And I think the American people are going to have a very good opportunity in this debate, because hopefully these moderators are going to do their job, and Joe Biden should be made to have to answer for his record of historic inflation, the border invasion, and quite frankly, his incompetence.
Yeah, I think you've nailed it. The inflation and the border invasion, those are the biggest concerns that so many people are having, because that affects everybody from the poorest community up to wealthy people. The white community, the Asian community, the Black community, everybody is affected by that. And hopefully that will be addressed, because there is blood on Joe Biden's hands.
Literally.
Yeah, these children, these women that were violated, abused, killed, they would all be alive today.
Terrible, God bless them.
Yeah, Alejandro Mayorkas and Biden not said, hey, give this guy the green light to go in and commit crimes in America.
Disgusting. They should be held accountable for their crimes against humanity and for the loss of lives. And it's unbelievable to me, the atrocities that have happened. I mean, Joe Biden just literally disintegrated everything that President Trump achieved with immigration, and allowing all of these illegal immigrants to come into this country that is under his watch. And, these are just the ones that we know about. And it's millions of illegal immigrants that have come in. And, where is the accountability for this? This is the disaster that Joe Biden, has created. People have never seen this unprecedented border crisis. And in the first 100 days, he took more than 94 executive actions on immigration, including halting construction of the border wall and ending the successful Remain in Mexico policy. And you have my word, that will be reinstated day one when President Trump is reelected. But because of what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris did, his fabulous border czar, 6 million that we know about have crossed the border illegally with drugs, fentanyl, MS-13, gang members, child and human sex trafficking. And this is unacceptable. And it's going to be put to a stop when the American people render their verdict on November 5th.
Yeah, I think everyone is ready for Trump day one and all of the action that he's going to take. You get to see behind the scenes. Most of us only see what the media or the internet tells us about Donald Trump. But when you're not spending time with Don Jr., what is President Trump really like? Because I've never seen someone's character attacked or vilified more. And yet when I see past videos that are now surfacing, it seems like everybody loved him. He's this funny, charming, down-to-earth guy. What is he really like?
He's like that. So listen, I know him now. I think it's like 19 years. He's my very, very good friend, separate from my future father-in-law. Okay. I'm telling you, I know the measure of the man. I was the first person at Fox when I was on the 5 to say, let me tell you, I know this guy. He is going to beat those highly qualified 16 candidates that he was running against in the primary and go on to become president of the United States. He is personable. He is warm and sharp and funny. I love how sweet he is with the kids. He calls us all honey. He's like, honey, okay. And to Dawn, too, to all of us, just very loving and warm, always asking how you're doing, just like full of life. And he's so sweet with all of the grandkids. You cannot even. And they just run up to him and they're so adorable. Like, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa, you're doing a good job. I hope you make it president of the United States again. So cute. And he's like, okay, sweetie, come over, and it's just so nice. And then it breaks my heart because I say, these monsters, these people that have made shambles of, total disrespect for our Constitution, trampled on our rights, tried to put President Trump, in jail, all of these like show trials. It's just reprehensible and it's un-American. And I think it's really important that he also get back in so that he can protect the rest of the American people by rectifying these wrongs and by literally engaging in wholesale reform of some of these government and legal institutions that have been so badly weaponized, because if they can do it to him, they can do it to each and every, one of us. So he's just, and he works tirelessly. Let me tell you something, okay? He works far harder than Joe Biden. He's always on the plane. He's reading, preparing. He's been preparing for the debate for quite some time. You'll see. He's battle tested and he's ready to go. And he's going to do a very good job. And the American people need to make a very important informed decision. So I hope people do, the justice for the debate and the responsibility that these moderators that are so biased that compared him and called him Adolf Hitler do their actual job, or shame on them.
Yeah. Well, like you say, he is battle tested. He's gone up against the Middle East. He's gone up against Russia. He's gone up against a border issue. And so he has a proven track record of making the American people feel safe.
Yes.
I think that is going to shine through. Do you think that he will be going up against Joe Biden this November, or do you think that they are going to try to swap someone out?
Yeah, I saw a headline on the news today and it said debate and swap. And I thought, because I'm going to tell you something. Joe Biden has been a disaster, right? Like he's like just decrepit, weekend at Bernie's, falling apart, falling down every 5 seconds. Not a joke, not being mean, factually accurate. It seems that he is far worse than he has ever been, that there is a very precipitous decline that is happening right now. And so I don't know how he's going to get through the debate. I guarantee he'll never be able to go through the next 4 years. You don't have to have a medical degree to say that. It's just common sense. And I just, I think that there's got to be a very strong to serious possibility that they swap him out. Now, if they swap him out, congratulations, America, big disaster. Kamala Harris, whatever, not good at all. But if he gets in and he wins, and he steps down at some point in the 4 years, we get her anyway. So it's not a good outcome. The only good outcome is beating and defeating on November 5th to save this country.
Yeah. There's a lawyer.
What do you think?
Well, I think that they are going to swap him out. I heard an actual interesting theory. I've been so focused on Trump winning this and the court cases against him that it never crossed my mind until this lawyer that I'm bringing on, where he said, what if this whole thing is to publicly humiliate Biden so that they can actually push him out? And then this morning I'm reading on Twitter that President Barack Obama, he's secretly calling all of the top Democrats saying, what are we going to do? Donald Trump is actually going to win. And so it does make me believe that they might be pushing Biden out.
I know. Well, no offense. If you were in charge of, and this is probably going to shake you to your core, the DNC or the Democrats, wouldn't you be saying, we got to get rid of this guy? Like, yeah, I think it's not a good situation.
I wouldn't let him run my show, let alone
no,
run the country.
You would not. You would not. That's the problem. Like, just use common sense. How do they think it's a good idea to have this guy go in? Maybe they thought he was going to hang on a little bit, but now it's just like, he's plummeting. So they have to be concerned. And also, quite frankly, just the poll numbers. President Trump is doing better across the board with all Americans, with my nice Latino and Hispanic community, like up 30%, with African Black Americans, like 20%. There's some serious concerns here that they know they have got a big problem with the electorate and making sure that they win again. They don't have this. They don't have it, even with the amount of cheating that they always do. Okay. How are they going to do enough cheating to overcome? And I think people are more motivated than ever, especially with this persecution and lawfare employed against, President Trump, to show up at the polls and make sure that they take back this country. People are fired up. People like grabbing me, like, Kimberly, we're praying for you. We're praying for your family. Tell President Trump, don't give up. They give me debate tips. They're like, hey, tell him to just let the dodo bird, talk and whatever. It's like all kinds of stuff. Everyone's like super engaged and interested in it because they want the win. They want to save this country. They're tired of it. Like, this is not a joke. Whether you're shopping, you're over at the grocery store, you're at the gas station, the whole thing is a big disaster. Whether you look at all the different conflicts and geopolitical regions, that also makes America less safe. This would not be happening. You wouldn't have had Putin on the march. You wouldn't have had this endless amount of money thrown away, our hard, working tax dollars, and the war in Ukraine. Kim Jong-un emboldened, China emboldened, like everybody's just like, hey, let's go. It's a free for all. Let's just do it all before Trump gets back in. And what we see going on with Palestine and Israel. I mean, it's just, the whole thing is such a mess. I can't wait for President Trump to get back in. And you know what? That's what I tell our children. And we have 6 combined. I'm like, hold on, better days are ahead. Stay positive. We've got this. Grandpa's got it. And we're gonna get this done, because there really is no other choice, right? So when people ask how we're doing, we go, fine. Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Have you and Don Jr. ever had this conversation? Maybe you've talked about this publicly, but even just privately, like, okay, if Don Jr. were up to the same shenanigans as Hunter Biden, they would just absolutely rip your family apart. You would be 24 hours in the news cycle. Have you guys ever talked about that?
Oh, yeah. We talk about it all the time. I have his laptop all the time. I'm like, God, this is pretty boring. There's like fishing lures and fly rods and like gun pictures. I was like, can you imagine? One small thing that he would do would be like all over the place. Like, you have to understand. So when we first started dating, I was like, oh gosh. And he came home, and across the bottom of the screen is Don Jr. guilty of treason, punishable by death for that fake Russian collusion. And I was like, babe, would you like a back rub or something tonight? Apparently it's not going well. I mean, it's nuts. Punishable by death. And the president has said before, can you imagine they wanted to kill my son, Kimberly? I was like, it's craziness. And it's such a double standard. And, they sit there and placate, Hunter Biden and protect him, and Joe Biden. No one knows where the missing cocaine is. I mean, the whole thing is just bananas. Imagine any of that. And imagine if they went and tried to put Barack Obama behind bars, if they brought all these cases against him, if they raided his house, okay, and said that you could use deadly and lethal force against a former president of the United States for deadly documents. Let's get it together here. I mean, we are better than this as a country. We deserve better than this. We need a strong commander in chief. I want the world to see it. I want the world to make an informed decision, make a decisive decision about the direction that they want this country to go in. I want to sleep well at night. I don't sleep so well. And wake up in the morning and feel strong and confident that we have someone who knows what the hell is going on, is going to fight for this country and protect us and restore American exceptionalism and greatness. We want a robust economy. I'm tired of families suffering. I'm tired of the housing crisis. I'm tired of the national security crisis, because border security is national security. And Joe Biden has failed this country. He needs to be thrown out of office. Give him a pink slip. Get out of here. That's what I think.
Yeah. Another thing that I'm curious about, if you guys, I'm sure you have, but between you and Don Jr., you said you have the 6 children.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and a lot of rescue dogs.
But what if you guys and your children had been there the day that Biden and the DOJ authorized the FBI to use, force against you guys? They come in. guns drawn. They forced the people to turn off the security cameras. Have you
Crazy.
thought about what it might have been like if you guys were
Yes.
there?
I remember that night very clearly. And I will tell you something. Dawn was away for work that night, and I was actually by myself and with my son Ronan. And I said, "Oh my God!" I saw what was happening. I said, "Are they coming here next?" So I was like completely freaked out. And even though we're in a gated community, they can't alert me the security that we have here that someone's coming in or coming to the house. And you just never know with these people. You could be open the door and they blast you. That's how scary I think it is. That's how weaponized our government institutions that we used to hold in high regard have become. And President Trump will make sure that he reforms these agencies to protect American people and protect our rights. And it's DOJ, it's FBI, it's CIA, it's IRS, it's DHS. It's all across the board. And this country deserves better. But I got to tell you, and this is why people ask, what can I do? What can I do? I said, pray for this country, pray for the president so that we can get this done. We got this debate, we got the convention, we got this horrific sentencing, coming up. But let me tell you something, Trump looks good. He is stronger, better than ever. And I cannot wait. Do you know that these lunatics put out this whole video? Oh, cognitive decline, failing. It's a picture where the president, it was a rally that Don and I were out in Hialeah in Miami with the president. We both spoke, etc. Then DJT went up to speak, and he's walking down the thing and he grabs like Don's hands, like kind of like a high five and talk. They do a frame of this saying that the president can't walk on his own, that Don Jr. has to help him. It was a complete lie. And you play the video and it just shows like it say, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" Like that. But this is what they want to say. They don't care. They're so dishonest. But the American people see it. They're like, what is wrong with these people? Like, they're disgusting. They're bad.
I was grateful to see the full video because I at first I saw the picture, and the way that they framed it looks like Don Jr. is like carefully, lovingly helping his elderly father down the stage. And really, Trump's walking. He literally reaches out, "Hey, son, love you," and then keeps going. And they turned it into this big, like,
yeah, I know.
Oh
and I was
gosh,
right
he's
behind
disabled.
him there. I'm like, that did not even happen. That just goes to show you how dishonest. And that was a while ago. Like I don't even know when we did that rally in Miami. It was at least like a year ago or something like that. But I don't know. I got it on my Instagram. I know because I was walking down that ramp. And let me tell you something. That's not easy. It looks like, so you walk down the ramp. It's high up. It's kind of narrow. And I'm in my heels. I'm like, the last thing I want to do is bite it and fall off. And I'm like a dancer and an athlete. So that goes to show you Trump's got it. He's unbelievable, and he's got great stamina. And he's got the stomach for this. Don't you want that in a commander in chief? Somebody that can take the hits that's not afraid to like hit back. Believe me, some of those foreign leaders, like they miss Trump. And Don and I have been, in different parts of the world, et cetera. And you can't even believe like the praise and how all of these foreign leaders, like, we want President Trump back. They're like, please tell us, it's going to happen. Whether we were with like Viktor Orban, in Hungary, and President Bukele in El Salvador, Milei, Argentina, all of but they're into it. New president coming in Panama. I'll tell you, because people want a strong country and they want a strong America. When America is strong, the world is a safer place.
Yeah, it's bad when Putin says it would actually be really good for Russia if Biden stayed in. Like, he wants a weak leader over America versus Donald Trump. But like you say, Viktor Orban, he's going against the European Union saying, wait a minute, we need the strength of Donald Trump in office. The world is on fire. Like, so many people are dying because of the weak, feckless leadership of Joseph Robinette Biden.
Oh, amen. You're absolutely right. And I love it. And just a nod to the Prime Minister Orban. He's amazing. Let me tell you something. When you go to Hungary, okay, it doesn't look like the blue states here in the cities that are decrepit and filled with crime and nonsense. Clean streets, beautiful building, everything, like very nice, very safe. And guess how many migrants he has in Hungary? 0. Doesn't allow it. They're fining him $1 million a day. He'll find a way to charge it back to them. But, you've got to take a stand and be strong. You know why? Because he's putting Hungary first. He's not going to sit there and fail for these like communist and like socialist policies that have failed historically throughout the world. He wants a strong and robust economy. He wants a safe Hungary, and he's not going to allow this nonsense in. Look at this, the countries that have allowed this. They're not doing well. Switzerland, like, no, not going well. Okay. Unless you think that a good stat for your time in office is, record high crime and rapes and all, that's not what it's about. So, and you have an obligation to your country to make sure you put it first, to protect your country and its citizens, that you uphold the Constitution, and that you reform the institutions that we have here in this country that really have just shown how corrupt they are and how they've been weaponized by the current occupier of the White House.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, you got tired of all the woke content that's going on out there, the sexualization of children, all the transgender confusion, the secret surgeries, the pronouns. Your principal and teacher will talk to you in your pronouns, but then they hide it from your family members. You've got a new book out.
Yep.
Tell me about that.
And it's so cute. So look at this. Guess what this is? This is a little girl, an actual girl who was born a girl in a pink dress. And this is a dog. It's not a girl that identifies as a dog or a cat and uses a litter box. That's what we have happening, the indoctrination of our children, of the most innocent. So we have to fight back to protect them. And I can't just complain about it. I need to do something about it. And that's why I wanted to, and with my background in education and my mother's, to do something really pure and sweet and talk about facing your fears and being courageous and encouraging values of empathy. And this little rescue dog, and it's so cute. And like I said, 10% of the proceeds go back to Furry Friends, a group that I'm on the board with. And like I said, Don and I are very active, in that community and giving back. And we want to protect our countries, our nation's children, and make them feel safe again, make our children feel wholesome again. And they've been through enough with COVID and everything else. And I think, we owe them that debt to make sure that we can actually restore some of the innocence, to their childhood. It's very difficult to watch and stand by and see how they try to confuse children, how they try to steal your children from you, and make them feel confused about what's going on. I don't think children should be at drag queen and transgender dance parties or whatever, or transgender reading time. Like, it's too much. And people have had it. It's enough. It's a disgrace. And so that's why I think this is important to do books like this. And my sister-in-law, Laura, did one as well. Brave Books has really, collaborated and joined forces with incredible conservative voices, because guess what? These other places don't want to, publish a nice book like that, do they? They don't want to publish a nice children's book that has beautiful spiritual values in it and scripture in it. But guess what? We will. And we have. So I'm excited. If you go to kgpup.com, and like I said, you can get the Biden chew toy. It's awesome. I love it.
I saw that today. I was like,
Isn't
is that Joe
funny?
Biden?
Yeah, it's Joe Biden. I think he looked too good in the little chew toy, but and you squeak and play with his head. It's like, so let's see, you know what I mean? But hopefully that's the last one. No more presidency for him.
Yeah. Well, I'll make sure to put that direct link down below so that people can go check it out and support you. There's a guy, and I apologize, I just forgot his name, but he's on the investment board, I believe, for Sequoia. Mm-hmm. And he came out recently and said, listen, I can't be silent anymore. I'm voting for Donald Trump. I know I'm going to make family mad. I'm going to make, business partners mad, people in the media mad. And then somebody said, how could you stand for somebody like that? Don't you care about your children? And he said, I would rather my children end up like Donald Trump's children than Joe Biden's children.
There you go. Drop the mic.
Boom, what a burn,
boom.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That is good. I didn't hear that. This is good. I'm going to tell everyone. They'll love it. It's so true. Look at all the kids and everyone in our family. Are you kidding me? Like, and compared to his family, just a disaster. So, but this is the standards that, you see, the double standard, and look how we behave, how we conduct ourselves. We're all like surrogates and out there, not because we're family, but we're good at it. We're good at it because we care about this country, because our heart is in it, our heart and souls. And so we're going to fight, and we're not going to disappoint anybody, because we're not going to stop till we get him back in the White House. I cannot wait, the reckoning is coming November 5th.
Yeah. Now, the debate, final
Yep.
question. CNN has all of these rules. They're all in the favor of Joe Biden,
Sleepy
the
Joe.
muting the mics and all of that. It's going to be rigged. Yet President Trump is willing to go where no one else is going. He's going to New Jersey. He's going to the Bronx. He's going into CNN.
Yes.
Are you going to be there? Because I know they don't want an audience. Are you going to be watching from a distance?
I'm going to be watching from a distance. We are, because I'm actually going to be doing my show and doing, live coverage and all of the webs, which, that's the way also to get involved and to get back. Obviously, we're going to be supporting and rooting for him. I think he's going to do a phenomenal job. Like I said, he's in great spirits, and he's really just like, boom, hitting the high notes there. He's really doing incredibly well. So it's coming at a very auspicious time. And like I said, he's been prepared. Okay. He doesn't need to get like jacked up with whatever they're going to pump Biden's cadaver body, filled with. But I wish they would do a drug test. I mean, oh my goodness gracious. They're probably going to have to restart Biden's heart after that. He's going to collapse on the ground after. And I'm not even kidding you, because it can't even be humanly possible to take that much medicine, right? To be able to stand up. How is he? He's not standing, he's falling down. He doesn't know where he is. He has to be guided off the stage, by Barack Obama. That's why you may be right about the swap. Let's see what happens. But, it's a little Machiavellian and sinister, but you know what? Maybe they are setting him up for a big fail, and then there'll be no choice but to take him out and swap him on the ticket. I mean, I don't think that, if you're really being honest, you think it's a good idea or a smart strategy to face Donald Trump on a debate stage, given the current condition of Joe Biden.
Yeah, I think the 24 hours after that, you're going to see thousands of people comparing sleepy Joe Biden to amped up Joe Biden. And they're actually walking Biden into a trap. He's not going to be able to do this without being on some kind of drug. And people are going to see the difference. And then they're going to know the sitting president of the United States is on some kind of upper drug in order to do his job. And I think it actually is going to backfire.
Yeah. And he should probably be removed from office like ASAP, because he's unfit to serve as commander in chief. And I think it's quite obvious. So, let's see what happens. I think that's why it's going to be very telling, this debate, and, where they go, from there. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't see how they think he's going to make it through. So, but here's the message I have to tell everyone. It doesn't matter. Whoever we go up against, we're going to smash them. Can't wait. And if it's Kamala Harris, don't even get me started. I know her a long time.
Yeah,
and she knows it too.
Yeah, that would be a very, very fun debate to watch. Well, thank you. I want to be respectful of your time. I'm going to put a direct link down below. I'm also going to put a link right to your Rumble show, so that people can check that out, and also check out the book. Thank you so much for everything you do. Let President Trump know that my audience is rooting for him.
Amen.
And they're excited. And I appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Oh, thank you so much. God bless you. Appreciate it, Stephen. This was fun.
Bye-bye.